It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pods, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think it's trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror Freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by Todd Loya, Pugs Dread, and our special guest zombie expert, Chris McGibbon. Gentlemen, how goes your evenings?
Namaste, y'all. What up?
Chilling.
Cool. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm here. I'm alive.
That's good. Nowadays, that's actually all you can hope for.
You're not a zombie, well, yet.
Oh, man, I wish.
That's how 2020's got to close. Like, if it's just going to keep being a pile on, at least make it a cool apocalypse.
Yeah, I want the...
Well, I was nice knowing you, Dan.
You say I wouldn't make it long. Number one.
Night one, you're gone.
I am actually soon to be a registered weapon Well, I don't know why I'm dancing around it. People are so sensitive. I'm getting a gun, so I have some protection.
What are you thinking? You just need to get a big knife, Mick.
Well,
I mean,
this for zombies.
Is the gun for you?
This is why you wouldn't last long in a zombie apocalypse, Dan. You shouldn't be using a gun.
That's true. It draws them.
Yeah, draws them in.
Knives don't need reloading.
Yeah, neither do aluminum baseball bats. And actually, those are better. A blunt object is better than a blade because a blade can potentially get stuck in a zombie, whereas a blunt object such as a baseball bat won't get stuck. It'll just hit them in the cranium right where you need to and keep moving.
I have a
base for a zombie,
and hopefully knock his hat off his head. Oh wait, I mean,
I would be bigger than Bub walking around with his hat as a zombie.
Okay, now I gotta call. Hold on. Now I gotta call some bullshit. You gotta fucking bring Bub into this. Okay, no one will be talking about Dan this fucking crocodile Dundee rapist hat. All right, like compared to Bub. All right, let's just not go there. Yeah, let's just not. All right, if this is not the week,
I
am not the one.
The hat zombie. It would be awesome. It would be oh, come on. I would be the second coming of Bill Heinzman. It would be like I'd be so distinct. But all right, so anyway.
So what are we talking about?
So anyways, well, that was a good segue and it kind of makes sense. So we are talking about the new 4K Blu-ray of Zombie from the icon Lucio Fulci, the late icon Lucio Fulci, and almost feels like I don't have to read a description, but I'm going to do it because you never know. You might be hearing about this.
Always somebody.
Yeah, hey, there's in fact, truthfully, being that it is on 4K, I'm sure there's some just 4K enthusiasts out there that just are like, oh, I'll buy it because it's on 4K. So I'm sure there are people seeing this movie for the first time. All right. So in Italy, it was considered the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. In England, it was known as Zombie Flesh Eaters and banned as obscene. In America, it was called Zombie and advertised with the depraved tagline, "We are going to eat you." Tisa Farrow, Ian McCulloch, Al Kleiber, and Richard Johnson star in this worldwide splatter sensation directed by the maestro of gore, Lucio Fulci. That remains one of the most eye-skewering, skin-ripping, gore-gushingly graphic horror hits of all time. Blue Underground's critically acclaimed 2018 restoration of Zombie, scanned in 4K, 16-bit from the original 35mm, 2% camera negative, is now presented with Dolby Vision HDR and a new Dolby Atmos audio mix bursting at the seams with hours of extras. All right, so, well, we got to let you go first on this one, Chris. How did you first discover Zombie, and tell us what you think of this new 4K and the movie itself, of course.
How did Zombie came into my life. It was the first Italian horror movie I had ever seen. I didn't know what a dub movie even was. I think I had seen a Godzilla movie, but I guess I just didn't understand the concept of what that meant. And I begged my mother to buy it for me at Suncoast Video. It was called Zombie 2. It was on VHS from a company called Eddie Entertainment, which I still have. I'm looking right at it actually. And it scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It really did. The zombies in Zombie are not like anything I'd ever seen. The breathing, the no emotion, no sense of anything, just straight up walking corpses who are walking towards their meal, and their only aim is to feed and destroy things. So I didn't, because it scared me so much. I didn't love it when I saw it because it just scared me. So I was like, fuck this movie. And then as time went on, I saw it again and again, and eventually had the Wizard Big Box and bought it. I think it was the second DVD I had purchased from Anchor Bay, the old school I remember it was $30. I had to mow the lawn for 2 weeks and do all kinds of yard work with my mom to get the money to get it. And yeah, I've been a fan of this movie since as long as I can remember. But it did, when I first saw it did scare me. What do I think of the Blu-ray? The transfer I think looks fine. I had issues with Blue Underground's color timing on their Blu-ray that they put out of this last year, because some of the scenes I think are a little too dark. Specifically, the underwater sequence that's shot in the middle of the day, and she's 3 feet from the surface of the water. It shouldn't look like it was shot in the middle of the night, and it never has. So this is the only disc where it looks that dark. And actually, even on VHS, it looks like it's bright enough, So that's still the same here. So that would be the only, I guess, complaint I'd have for it, as I think the color timing needed to be looked at again. But I thought the disc looked great. The details there. There's no obvious digital smearing or DNR or any fuckery. It looks fantastic. I just hope that somebody like Arrow, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, gets a hold of it overseas again and puts out their own version of a 4K and with the proper color timing. Because I think with that, it would be a perfect release.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with this. I did notice a bit of a difference between this and the Blu-ray. And I remember when I first discovered this one as well. Not the first Italian horror movie, but it was one of the first. And I was just blown away. I mean, the eye scene, if I didn't know any better as a kid, I would think it was real. I mean, it's how did you fake that? That is oh my God. Probably one of the first gore scenes that I can remember that really almost made me look away, which is amazing. And the fact that, Fulci didn't, no trick. I mean, he didn't cut away. He just went for it. And it was just, my jaw was on the floor. This movie has so many I mean, there won't be another zombie. There have been many zombie movies since this, but you're not going to have shots like the bridge ever again. That would be about 2 minutes, and you would be getting the crap beat out of you by night 6 at this point. It's there's just something so unique about it, and the makeup, like you said. There aren't a lot of. I love zombie films almost as much as Chris does, but how many are truly frightening? It's a small list, and this one, I think, back in the day, definitely, scared me. Now, of course, I just love it and eat it up. No pun intended. And the shark. I mean, come on. How many encounters? Different creatures, humans, have we seen with sharks in movies lately, but you're never gonna top that because it is again legit. I couldn't believe I was watching this. Pugs,
that was what drew me into the movie. I think early in high school, maybe late middle school. I don't remember. It's been around for a while for me.
Yeah.
But someone said dude, I saw a zombie fight a shark and it was awesome. I'm like, let's go. When can I come over? Let's watch this. And it lived up to it. And then the eye scene, like you said, I was just like you, floored. Maybe not no jaw on the floor, but I was like, wow, this is badass. But the mouthing weirded me out. But loving Godzilla, I was like, all right, we'll roll with it. But yeah, this one when it hit pretty hard. But what drew me in was the bait was fucking a zombie fighting the shark. That rules.
Mine's actually similar. I had a buddy who had it on CED, the precursor to Laserdisc. Wow. And he told me the zombie shark scene, so I remember going over and we watched that. And Friday the 13th also on CED, part 3.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
Man.
I'm sure most of you have, but have you guys seen this on the big screen, like in a theater?
I have not.
No.
I mean, unless you count my 105. Which I did watch it on.
I saw not this restoration, when they did the first restoration. Blue Underground did a theatrical tour where they screened it. And I've also seen it at a drive-in.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, they screened it at the Pennsylvania Drive-In one year because it did a night of Italian zombie movies and a night of something else. But that was like the second feature, I think. And it wasn't a film print; it was the digital version. I'd love to see it on film, but I don't know if I don't even know if there are any film prints of it in existence anymore. It might just be.
I've been lucky enough to see it at the Egyptian. That was really, really cool. It was all grainy and gross, and it added to it too. My point was you can see it either really, really pretty or really, really grimy, and it's still freaking awesome. It's good all around.
Yeah. I actually just revisited it on VHS too. And at first I was like, God, we were so barbaric watching movies like this on VHS. There are characters that aren't even on the screen that are talking. They're in the scene. You can see their shoulder, and that's it. And but it still works. I mean, it still works. I mean, that's how I was watching it as a kid. It was on full screen, and this was actually one of the first movies that introduced me to what widescreen meant, because I had purchased the Anchor Bay widescreen VHS tape, and I had no clue what widescreen meant. I never heard that term before. I think I was 12 when that came out.
Were you mad?
Honestly, no. I was, because I didn't know what was going. I had a 13-inch TV. Right. So watching a movie in 2.35 widescreen at 13-inch TV, the picture was this big. I had to sit this close to the TV to see anything. So
you would have done that anyway, though.
What the fuck are these black bars? This is bullshit.
Yeah. If I had a bigger TV, I might not have cared. But I started. I was talking to a guy who knew more about this shit than I did. He ran a website called Crimson Cult Video. And he used to sell bootleg movies, like stuff that wasn't available in the U.S. I got my first copy of Zombie 3 and Zombie 4 from him. And he was the one who kind of explained to me what widescreen meant and what it meant to see a movie in widescreen. And he was like, pop the full screen version in and then pop the widescreen version. And you'll see there's stuff you can't see. And I was like, no, that's not true. And then I looked at it and I'm, holy fucking shit, yeah, it is true. And then I was all about widescreen. I used to, when widescreen and full screen DVDs used to come out, I worked at a video store. Every single time someone would bring one up, like, this, you should get this in widescreen. It'll look a lot better. You can see more picture information. Oh no, it's got those black bars. I don't want it. It's like, yeah, but they're there so you can see more of the picture. And they didn't care. They wanted the full screen. So, but whatever.
I could tell the people who were going to fight it.
Yeah.
I was just like, here you go, Joe Sixpack. Enjoy your full screen.
Right. One of my favorite things that we had was at the counter of our store, because Universal was really pushing the widescreen. At least it felt like they were. They had it was from Dragonheart, and it showed, this is what your movie looks like in widescreen. Then they showed it boxed in full screen. So I had a visual aid. Even showing that to people, the ones that didn't care. They would still buy it in full screen. I was like, missing half the movie. What's wrong with you? So.
Yeah, you weren't going to win that one. Usually, though, older people, although there were exceptions.
Dan, how long did it take you to switch to widescreen?
I was going to say that.
Honestly, pretty early. I actually knew the difference on that. I mean, I couldn't have the same sort of like technical discussion. No, seriously. Like, I always knew like that was the way to watch a movie. Now, I had a lot of full screen stuff. I mean, obviously back in the VHS era, that's kind of how it was. But no, I always knew that was better. But I will say I had a lot of clashes with like family who insisted as like, oh, I don't like the black bars, and so yeah.
Sorry, I'm just picturing Dan in his hat as like an 11-year-old arguing with his family. But it means you get more picture information. No, I'm sorry.
I will tell you what my first widescreen release was, and I can't. I'd have to look at the timeline. It was either Inner Space or Ghostbusters 2, because when both of those came out, they were released only in widescreen on VHS.
That's right. People thought Ghostbusters 2 was broken. They were bringing it back to the video store, thinking they had gotten a defective copy.
But I remember I still taped both of them off cable, so I had both versions, because they played those full screen.
Interesting.
Inner Space used to air on Comedy Central all the time. I remember that being like in their loop for some weird reason. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you always assume I'm like the last to the party. I mean, goddamn, Todd knew the difference.
That was me.
It always happens. It's like I get up with Hillary Swank comments that I do some like. It's funny because it just shows you don't pay attention. So
you totally complained about that.
I'm just saying, you seem like the type. It's like, why am I paying for half a movie when actually you're paying
like,
for half the movie?
Goddamn technology. What am I gonna do?
I mean, not to jump on this too, but in fairness, Dan, your track record does certainly suggest that you might have been behind the curve just a little bit.
And it's not like there was a slew of widescreen porn to get you to convert. Then I believe it.
I'll tell you why. I got every movie magazine you could possibly grab hold of. So I knew. Now, could I explain?
No. Had you not read those, I think you would have been like, what the fuck is this?
Half the movie's gone.
VCR is broken.
So what is, I'll ask each of you guys this. Do you have an all-time favorite Fulci film, and is this it, or is it another film?
We're going to be reviewing mine in the next 4K batch.
Oh, New York Ripper? Okay.
That's just because it's about you.
Which one?
Your City.
City of Living Dead.
There you go.
Close second.
You would have to. It's got to be this, or it's got to be The Beyond. I'm not. I really feel like that.
It's probably this. If you're being real, think about it.
No, because I adore The Beyond. I adore that. This one has a little bit of an edge because I saw it earlier, and it has a bit of that nostalgia attached to it, and the fact that it did scare me so much. I mean, I slept in my parents' room on the floor. I hadn't done that in years, but I was just like, I remember, and this is like one of those. This is like one of those weird, vivid memories you have as a kid. I was laying on my mother's floor, and I looked up at the doorway, and I swore I saw the boat zombie standing in the hallway, and I lost my shit. So, like, I was just like, so this movie really did kind of fuck with me. I didn't see The Beyond until it was on DVD through Anchor Bay. I didn't even know what it was. And the only reason I found out that it existed was because I saw The Dead Hate the Living. And they reference The Beyond and other Fulci. I'm like, Fulci had more movies? Like, this guy made other movies? So, because I didn't have a computer or anything, and there was really no way for me to find that stuff out. It's not like Fangoria was covering this stuff then, so it was just, you kind of found out how you could find out about it, and I was the only kid into it. But I think Zombie would have to be my pick because it does have that little edge. But The Beyond is a phenomenal film. And I would.
I'll put it on first. I don't like The Beyond. I've always tried.
Oh my god! If I tell him the next sentence of what you don't like, it's going to totally turn the show into something else.
Why?
We can do that too.
Okay. What other movie that shocks people do you not like?
Return of the Living Dead. I don't.
Bye. I gotta go. Time for me to go.
Hey, more movie for you, man. I don't. I think honestly, it's just overrated for me. It was overhyped, and then I was just bored the entire time. Just like The Beyond. It's not for me, man. I've tried. I've sat through that movie at least 10 fucking times.
Even the grave dance didn't get you out of the boredom.
And if I want to see tits, I'll look at tits, dude. Like, I don't care.
I can't.
The movie.
I can wrap my mind around someone not liking that movie, but saying they were bored through it just makes me really question you. It's not like it's a fast-paced fucking movie. Like, it's bam, 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 bam. There's no there's very little.
Nothing drew me in. I just wanted to watch Night of the Living Dead. Like, can we just put that?
Well, motherfucker, I'll draw you a picture if you want something to draw you in, but you need to fucking respect Return of the Living Dead, for fuck's sake. Ooh, what the hell's your problem?
Nah,
when was the last time you watched it?
Me?
Maybe like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So then,
dude, I've tried. I think I even started the cemetery one time. I'm just like, I just want to go home. It's not for me.
You did what? You went to the cemetery?
Yeah, and in Hollywood they have Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I think they showed it there one time. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought you meant you went to the cemetery in the movie. I was like, dude, it was a set. What cemetery did you go to?
Well,
the cemetery's not there anymore.
Yeah. What grave did I dance naked on?
Dude,
now I feel bad.
For the longest time too, I didn't like Phantasm until like one day it just hit.
I'm the same way with The Exorcist. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
I'm the same way with Halloween. I can't.
That's mine. See,
oh well, fuck you too.
Well, another one, Chris. I'm going to call you out on. Dawn of the Dead, the original. You just recently got into that one.
Yeah,
and you'd watch it over and over. So there's no telling.
But in fairness with that one, and I've always said this, I never hated it. I just didn't love it. Halloween, I don't like. I just think it's incredibly overrated, and it's like everyone's like, oh, it was the first one to do this. It was the first one to do that. But it really wasn't. It was the first one people caught on to. Black Christmas did a lot of what Halloween did before Halloween did it, and so did Bay of Blood. So it's just like there's a lot. There's stuff that came before it that Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me is a movie that I feel like should have the spotlight that Halloween has, because it really doesn't, even though it sort of feels like it does, but it really doesn't. It should be a bigger deal, and it's not to people.
I think the sequel on that one tarnishes.
I would agree with that. I think the sequels are the problem with that one, but the first one is just so fucking effective.
Because at least with Halloween, you have the first two. You can argue the rest, because I know a lot of people. 4 is like become questionable all of a sudden, which it was always praised.
I know, that's weird.
But anyway, the other thing, Chris, you noticed something I don't know if I would have noticed if you didn't tell me in advance. Anything different about this transfer?
Well, okay. I don't even want to say it because it sounds so fucking petty after I thought about it. Because apparently it's also on the Blu-ray. I didn't notice it on the Blu-ray, but apparently it's on the Blu-ray. They retyped the opening and closing credits for the movie on the Blu-ray and the 4K.
Oh, no shit.
And normally, like, I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever, no big deal. But, like, if the title opticals were damaged or something. But it's like, the opening titles of this film are over black. Like, how hard would that have been to at least match the fonts up so it looks just like them. I mean, this is because I've been a graphic designer for years. I'm looking at that font like this font didn't exist in 1979. Why the fuck? Like, what the hell? And the end titles, like, they added a copyright to it. I guess that was just so William Lustig could kind of claim ownership of the movie, like, or at least that transfer. But like, you can do that by adding that credit after the credits. Like, you can just put it there so it looks the same. You don't have to change the credits. But yeah, it's a small gripe, but it is something I did notice, and I was a little off put by it. The other thing too is this movie has so many different titles. You would think they would have wanted to offer, because it's a 4K disc, so it is region free. They'd want to offer alternate title sequences to say, here's Zombie Flesh Eaters, here's Zombie 2, here's Island of the Living Dead. If you want, for the purists out there, because Arrow did that with their disc. They did a seamless branching option, which still gives Arrow's disc a bit of an edge on Blue Underground's. Plus, Arrow's disc is actually from the negative, not the internegative. And I'm sorry, I still think the color timing is better. So that one's still my go-to disc for this one. Although the 4K was really great.
The one in the gatefold or the window box, whatever they call it.
I don't think I have that one. I think I have the just regular Snapcase release. It was the same disc.
I'm thinking of Dawn of the Dead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
How pissed are people going to be if, like, a year from now, after the Blu-ray anger, if Arrow has their 4K come out?
That's what. In fairness, their disc came out like 10 years ago. Probably not that long. It came out like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. So I don't think people would be mad at them. I think with this instance, they're pissed off, and I kind of get it. But I think I said it before. You don't have to run out and buy this. Like, you can wait. You don't need to own the 4K edition. You don't have to. It's not life threatening if you don't. So if you're bitching about having to buy it, well, you're the one who's pulling the trigger to buy it. I will say that I think what Blue Underground should have done is they should have said, okay, if you bought our $40 3-disc edition of this a year ago, if you buy it from us directly with proof of purchase, we'll take like $10 off the purchase. Like, just because you're buying it again and you're supporting us. Because they did put them out so close together. And House by the Cemetery and New York Ripper, it's like those just came out. So it's like, you really kind of fucking put the screws to people who just bought those, because those are $40 too. And they didn't really go on sale. So it was like...
The one positive is at least they know they finally decided to do it. And moving forward, they should be day and date, because they said they have other ones planned that aren't already. Yeah. So I get people being annoyed, but here's the thing. These boutique labels, it's just barely starting. They're trying to do 4Ks. So far, we have Vinegar Syndrome, we have Synops, and we have Blue Underground.
And Shark Factory.
Oh, that's right.
These movies are guaranteed sellers too, so that's like, it will make them do more rare stuff if these are successful. And so
and actually, Arrow's dipping into 4K as well now.
That's right. Flash Gordon and see, they're going a little less risky with Flash Gordon and Pitch Black. They're going for at least the ones that are more mainstream.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna go big, go big or go home. I mean, I feel like that makes sense for them to do that. I mean, in a way, Synapse kind of went big with Suspiria, because I mean, Suspiria is the largest title they own, realistically. I mean, I'm not shit talking them. It is the biggest movie that they have, and it just had a remake. So the 4K of that made total sense to put that in people's forefronts, and it worked. It was, if it still isn't, it was one of the top selling horror discs on Amazon for almost a year. So.
And that's what we should all want to hear, like, that they're selling.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that if you alienate that's the other side of the coin, though. If you alienate the people who bought you're buying your stuff, they're not going to buy your shit anymore. They're going to wait if you only put out a Blu-ray. If your line of sight is, okay, they put out a Blu-ray and then a year later they put out a 4K, they're not going to buy the Blu-ray. They don't want to buy it twice.
Like, do you think
I want Bill to start coming out flexing and
oh god.
Do you think, though, that like people would wait on something like Cecilia, the Jess Franco Blu-ray they have coming, that would be highly unlikely for 4K, anyways.
I mean, if they had any sneaking suspicion they were going to do it, I think they would. Yeah, because they wouldn't. Because like I said, these discs aren't cheap. If they were like $20, I could see people not being that upset. But they're $40 each. They're both editions are around $40. So to buy, you're basically spending $80 on the same movie if you want to own both editions. I bought Zombie. I wasn't going to buy Maniac. I'm not buying House by the Cemetery, and I'm not buying New York Ripper. I'm really happy with those releases that they put out a year ago. And honestly, with Zombie, the Blu-ray looked so good that the 4K, to me, wasn't that huge of an upgrade. It looks better, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm seeing shit for the first time I never saw before. Because
the thing with like restorations like this, the only thing you're really going to notice between the two is the black levels.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're dealing with film, it's just, that's like the only, but which is a big plus if you have nice deep blacks.
Right.
So,
right. That's the big positive, but there's no uptick, like huge uptick in detail. So for people who all they're going to see is that the picture looks darker because the blacks are deeper, they're not going to get that that's why it looks better. But I mean, I think for me, like I said with the other three, it's like, well, I don't need Maniac to look pristine. I mean, I don't care that it does or doesn't.
Which
I don't need.
We will be talking about next.
I don't need House by the Cemetery or New York Ripper to look, any better than they already do. I just think they look fine. So,
but should we rate this thing? We kind of forgot that. I mean,
you haven't even talked about it yet. We haven't even gotten to that point.
I don't even think there's anything left for me to talk about.
And you guys wanted me to talk about this other thing.
Oh yeah, well let's do that then. Well, 5.
You do
give it 5.
Oh, I thought you were gonna drop a star just because Chris made fun of your biopic. Or talk shit about your biopic. Maniac.
Are you trying to say biopic?
Biopic. Yeah.
What biopic did he make fun of?
Maniac.
Oh, my biopic.
Maniac. He did it. Make fun. I was calling you a pervert, Todd.
It's Maniac.
I wasn't making fun of it. I just said I don't need it in 4K.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I like the movie a lot. I just don't need it in 4K.
I'm not going to get all. But you can't see
the voices now.
Well, no, we'll wait. We'll talk about that after. All right. So what you had some other Maniac stuff, or Maniacs? Jesus, some other zombie stuff.
Yeah. So, I as some folks might be aware, I've recently got into collecting VHS tapes. I know it sounds silly and stupid, but hey, nostalgia is a powerful thing. So I bought this off eBay because apparently Charles Band doesn't have them anymore. But I bought the Wizard Big Box reprint. That's what these are. It's sort of not really been confirmed, but it has been. I have an email from them that basically confirms that these are reprints. But anyway, for anyone out there that's questioning whether or not they should buy these, if they're still kind of on the fence, if you're not buying it for the box, don't waste your money. The boxes admittedly look fine, some worse than others. This one looks pretty good. I've got Virgin Among the Living Dead sitting right here that I don't think I can show you guys on camera because I tried earlier. It didn't really seem to register. But right here, fuck!
Not anymore.
right here on the sides, about an inch into this, the zombies around this young lady are blurry. And on the original image, of course, they were blurry. So what that means is that when they scan this, somebody lifted it up before it was finished scanning, and they didn't fix it. So that's how. It's not like slightly blurry. You guys definitely can't see it, but like this guy, like you can't even see his the detail in his face at all. There's no detail. It's just a blurred image. So that sucks. Considering these were like $50 a pop. The other thing that annoys me about these tapes is they're inconsistent. So you got this one up top that has a small classic Wizard video label. This one has a larger one for some reason. It's also got white on the edge, so it wasn't even printed properly. And the last annoying thing is about this 15 minutes of Charles Band patting himself on the back at the beginning of every one of these tapes about how cool it was for him to find these cases, because he's still sticking to that story that he found them in a box somewhere, hundreds of them just unfolded and untouched for years.
Hey,
and what would
you
be
know
the
what?
cool thing he could do?
They were right next to all those Puppet Master box sets.
Yeah, right. That never-ending load. And here's the they didn't even get the right clamshells to fit. This doesn't fit. And the Wizard big boxes, the clamshells, the original ones, they fit right inside, and they were snug. This is loose, and I got him in a buy one get one free sale, so I don't feel like I got that.
I'm going to give him a pass on the clamshells because it's not like they have a lot of options on those. They're lucky if one place still makes them. So I get they may not be perfect.
No, sorry. They were charging. Listen, I will say, if they were charging what they're charging now for them, I would agree with you. But they were charging $50 a pop, and at this point, you figure if they were reprinting the boxes, the tape costs what? 25 cents if you buy them in bulk. They still make these. They're 2-hour tapes. The labels, I printed labels before. They're not expensive for the sheets. The cardboard itself isn't expensive. These probably cost them all of $5 to put together, not including the clamshell. Maybe this was another $5. So they made a $40 profit. Plus, they offered a subscription service where if you paid like $600 a quarter, you get every release as it came out. Like, I'm sorry, I would give any other company a pass, but not Full Moon. Full Moon likes to cut corners. And then the other thing is at $50 a pop. This isn't even a copy from the original quarter-inch master. This is a copy from a worn-out VHS of Zombie, which is told by the tracking errors that are on the tape. So, yeah.
I think you want to throw it across the room.
I don't. I kind of do, but I don't, because this one I had to get off of eBay because when they were doing their buy one get one free sale, I asked them if they had any copies of Zombie left, because I know at conventions, like, they can have overstock from conventions that weren't on the website, and they replied to me something to the effect of, "No, we don't have any more of those in stock, and we won't be able to get any reprinted in time." And I was like, reprinted? I thought these were original boxes. They didn't answer that email, by the way. They didn't respond to that. And I was like, wait, because this is like, I hadn't even placed my order yet. I still placed it, but because I was like, okay, I'm really just getting these to get the boxes. If I can get the original tapes without the cases, they'll be cheaper. At least I'll have mint boxes. But realistically, like, that fucking Virgin on the Living Dead pisses me off. Zombie-thon looks okay. The other ones look okay, but that one just pisses me off. That's just laziness.
You're gonna have the Corona zombie show up at your house.
Yeah,
he's gonna
and
ship
then the
them out.
5G zombies.
The what?
The 5G zombies.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's not go there. But anyway, so if you guys are on the fence, if anyone's listening or watching this and still hasn't picked these up, I guess Zombie is not available anymore, so you got to go to eBay. But if you have the tape and you just want a good box, you can certainly do worse. But
until he finds more.
Well, yeah, finds more.
Well, I am a 5 on the Zombie 4K. It's a classic film. I will say, though, Beyond is a masterpiece. It's really hard. Fulci was so on. I mean, he was perfect for a while. I mean, just a string of masterpieces. But, yeah. So, Todd, you rated it 5. What say you, Pugs?
Did Todd rate it?
I did. I did. Dan
he
did.
gave it a 5. I gave it a 5. But now I'm going to add "fuck the Beyond" because Dan.
Hey, you want to hear another one, Chris?
What?
He also doesn't like Suspiria.
I don't.
That one, you know what though? That one I get.
Okay,
but I love the remake.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I get because that one's not for everybody. And honestly, Suspiria visually is an amazing movie. Story-wise, though, not so much. Let's be real.
You could say the same exact thing about The Beyond, and I love The Beyond too.
But I don't think that. I think the comparison, like, I'd rather watch Dick Tracy for the colors than Suspiria.
All I know is Chris has lighted himself like he's in Suspiria.
I am.
It looks good.
It does.
I like it.
It's mood lighting. I wouldn't say that about The Beyond only because The Beyond stylistically, like, that's just the way Fulci just shot his movies that way. Suspiria is a stylistic choice. Like, there's a lot of decisions made with lighting, whereas The Beyond mostly is I don't think there's any like funky lighting in the Beyond. I think it's basically lit like real life. It's just shot very well. But that was Fulci. Fulci shot. I mean, Zombie looks gorgeous. I mean, Zombie has some breathtaking shots that are in his movie. He had a great director of photography working with him. So, but I would give it a 5 as well. It's a classic zombie film. It's one that I think still works for a lot of reasons. I remember years ago when Xbox 360 used to have an option on Netflix. You could do a watch party with people you played games with, and you could like all of your little avatars are going to this little theater, and you could sit and watch a movie together. Cool. One night we did this. We did Zombie, and in the beginning, it was me and 7 other people, and they were all people I played Left 4 Dead with. So like it was all like we're all like 20 something, and they were kind of like heckling it a little bit. They were just kind of like, oh, this is. Like the people's mouths are moving, but like the lips are coming, words are coming out and the mouths aren't moving, and yada yada. But once the zombie shit started happening, they got really into it, and it started to become less of a heckling thing and more of a we want to watch this and pay attention to it and figure out what's going to happen and everything. And they all really liked it by the time it was over. It still is kind of unlike anything anyone's ever seen. Even if you're a big zombie fan, Fulci had a very distinct behavior that his zombies had. They all sort of have the same look and feel to them, and I think that no one else has really tried to duplicate it here and there, but not in mass. Like I think Junk from Japan, they did the swaying back and forth thing and the head down, the really rotted makeup, but like I can't think of another. Maybe Meat Market. Meat Market had a similar look, but like but that was about it. And the sequels,
not quite on par with Zombie.
No. We'll be talking about Zombie for quite a long time. The only reason we're talking about Meat Market is because I brought it up. So
those are on Blu. Well, the first 2 are on Blu-ray. So who knows? We might cover those one day. And maybe the elusive third film. We can still find it.
I've seen the third movie. I have it.
Yeah.
I have a copy of the third movie.
Yeah, that was a tough one. You had to get it like direct or something. I don't know.
It was weird because it was like from a UK company, and they had the 18 on the case, but they just blocked over it. Like they put a little black circle around it. Like it wasn't like they even tried to hide that it had it on it at one point. But I was like, whatever. I don't remember hating that movie, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember thinking it was better than the first 2, but I don't remember anything specifically about it.
Well, and it was direct continuations too, though, which is kind of if you sat through the first 2, you're going to want to see the third. But yes, so Chris, I don't think you're staying around for Maniac, a Todd story.
No,
my biopic.
But I want to thank you for joining us as always, and not vinyl shaming me like Todd does. He gets it, Todd.
I buy vinyl too. The only thing I'm going to shame
you have a
anybody
record
about.
player, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't know which one to buy.
The one that plays your records.
Well, some are better than others. I mean,
didn't I send you a link? I thought I sent you a link. You asked me that.
He doesn't read links.
Nobody sent me a link.
No photos, no Dan. But I think you're about to shit on me.
I am about to shit on you, actually. Return of the Living Dead, man. Like, I'm sorry, but like, we gotta still be friends. So like, I need you to try. No, I need. But what I'm saying is, I need you to try again. All right.
Honestly, I don't think I'll ever try. Not try. I will always give movies a chance. I need some time, but like, I will try.
It's been 2 years. You've had some time. Like, I'm just saying.
Another year.
I'm just saying that I feel like that
Does it have an anniversary coming up, Chris?
I hope not.
Yeah, it's this year. It's the 35th anniversary this year. It's this year.
35 years.
Well, if it's show related, I feel like I have to.
The other thing is and this might make a difference. It might not, because it's not like part 2. When they put part 2 on DVD, they used the temp score for the movie, so it really changed the whole fucking movie. Part 1 has music placed differently, and some things are changed. So I'm wondering which version you saw, because the original theatrical mix works better for a lot of people.
It won't matter. It's not like part 2.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that big of a deal or not, but it could matter.
You like part 3, right, Pugs?
That's the one I enjoy the most.
Okay. I mean, there's 2 totally different movies.
As long as you don't tell him you like 4 and 5, I think we're okay.
No, that would get me on a plane to LA.
I don't even think I'm wasting my time, but
good.
Come on, you know you've got those rave to the grave underpants, Pugs. Don't lie.
So there we go. Return of the Living Dead retrospective this year.
Custom jackets with that stuff on there. I like the imagery. I just don't like the movie. Tarman's cool.
Hey, let's do a Return of the Living Dead retrospective, but that means we got to cover 4 and 5.
No, it doesn't. 4 and 5 don't count.
The goal is to get me to like the first one, so maybe we should just do the first one.
Yeah, I'm totally comfortable doing 1, 2, and 3, but I am not. I will never watch 4 and 5 again, ever.
You know why they count?
Because
there's the 4
change.
and there's the 5.
No, there's not. Not for the U.S. releases. There's not for any release except for fucking Germany, and they retitle everything. So no, they don't count. Sorry, Charlie. Been down this road once before. They don't count.
On that note, since our Maniac review, our zombie review lasted like 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ! I told my friends I'd be back in 20. I gotta go.
I was trying to rush you out of here.
I mean, fuck. They all went to bed.
All right. Well, you go do that. Thanks for coming on.
Later, dude.
Thank you.
No problem.
We'll bring you back when we make Pugs watch Return of the Living Dead.
Yes, you will.
Later.
All right, peace out.
See ya. All right, getting right into our next film, also on 4K from Blue Underground, director William Lustig, 1980. Maniac, Frank Zito.
Are we not going to do Extraordinary?
Oh no, that's next.
That's after.
Oh, I'm retarded.
That's okay.
You're special. It's
God
okay.
damn it, Bugs.
Sorry. I thought it was Extraordinary than Maniac to give it a space, but okay.
Oh no, we'll do the 4Ks together.
No, I read it now. I just I'm stupid.
It's okay. It's okay.
Dan does it every show.
Shut up, Todd. I'm enjoying.
I've been fucking up a lot lately, though.
It's that work.
You know what I think it is?
It's work, man. Yeah, fear of.
I'm worried about my life mattering and shit.
Ooh. All right, if you're listening to the audio version, Pugs is black. All right, you finally got it out of me tonight, Pugs. So, don't get letters. All right, so Maniac, Frank Zito.
And you know what? God damn it! I put up the wrong graphic.
I was just gonna say, my stoop is rubbing off.
No, you didn't, Todd. That's just it's been a while since he's
one of the
killed
girls.
these women, and that's 1980, dude. That's about what it looks like by now.
See, I'm not gonna edit because I screwed up. Like you guys all make me do, not Bugs.
You can leave it.
Right. From now on, just edit in an ECW crowd chant. You fucked up. You fucked up. And
We do
why is it gonna be an
here,
I was gonna say thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, that'd be
fucked up.
All right, Frank Zito.
That movie now. I still love that artwork, even the boner and all.
It took me forever to register, and oh yeah, that can be taken as an erection.
Well, if you're holding a severed head like that and you don't have an erection, you are doing something wrong, sir.
I'm picturing this is why Todd was no longer welcome at his local Mod Pops. He's sitting there holding the cover. It's like big fucking boner. Just turning around, knocking off the copy of Pretty Woman off the shelf, breaking it. He didn't want to be on the hook.
Propaganda out here.
No, I used to make the Maniac VHS chase around the Pretty Woman VHS. Those were my action figures.
Julia Roberts shouldn't have offered to take him around the world. All right.
25.
So,
wait, no.
We'll talk 75. About that. Let me read the goddamn description.
Well, then quit bullshitting and do it.
Frank Zito, a career performance by writer, executive producer Joe Spinell of Rocky and The Godfather fame, is a deeply disturbed man, haunted by the traumas of unspeakable childhood abuse And when these horrific memories begin to scream inside his mind, Frank prowls the seedy streets of New York City to stalk and slaughter innocent young women. Now Frank has begun a relationship with a beautiful photographer. Excuse me. Yet his vile compulsions remain. These are the atrocities of a human monster. This is the story of Todd. Directed by William Lustig and featuring landmark gore effects by Tom Savini, this relentlessly shocking and disturbing film was originally banned or censored all over the world due to its graphic violence. Now, Blue Underground's critically acclaimed 2018 restoration, scanned in 4K 16-bit from the original 16mm camera negative, is presented with Dolby Vision HDR and a new Dolby Atmos audio mix overflowing with hours of extras. All right. Well, since Chris went first on this one, on the last one, Todd, this is your story, so you should be first. You got to tell us.
I don't go to cemeteries first off, so you know why now. I'm trying to be biased. Everything about it. It's sleazy. Joe Spinell kills it, like he does pretty much everything. I mean, you could feel the sweat in this fucking movie. The killing of the horse. I love it when like all of a sudden we go from maniac Joe Spinell to him like spitting game at Carol. It's just like he's got his suit on. I was like, God damn, that was like 1980s Pimpin'. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to suck the whole thing, so
Dude, gobble it down. It's cool.
I mean, yeah, this one I saw, I don't know what year, and I didn't even know how I found it, but all I know is I was instantly in love.
Goals.
Right. Yeah, it's just so good. I mean, this one, like I said, I already can't wait for New York Ripper. That's a good double.
Are you mad that we didn't get like the 80s love montage between Spinell and Carolyn Monroe, like just running along the beach, her licking?
I think
like,
I'm gonna have some free time. I want the Maniac romantic comedy trailer.
Set it to Hungry Eyes.
Don't you tell me how to edit. If anything, it's gonna be Maniac.
Hungry Eyes. He's like
on the floor. You know what? Do both. I want both.
That's got to happen now. I think you just gave Todd a new obsession.
Didn't they say? And God, I should know this, but my brain is so pickled at this point. At one point, wasn't the song Maniac gonna have something to do with the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
That's awesome. Where? What part?
Just I don't know. Just was going to be on.
And he's scalping all the whores. Todd, I think we need to remake that song.
Yes. We need to put out a CD. Not that I can really do shit with that.
I'm fucking dead serious, Todd.
I know. I already like it. I'm thinking. Because we'll talk off the air because I've already like conceptualized something that's kind of happening already with the Last Out song. So
perfect.
So
when are we going to debut some of this? Because I'm excited.
In the future.
Yes, soon. By the end of this month, I guarantee it.
Oh.
Well, Pugs, what do you think?
At least one.
That's sooner than I thought. Pugs, what do you think of Maniac?
I absolutely love Todd, and I absolutely love his movie. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, I'll just get this out of the way first. I do prefer the newer one, but it's really hard to improve on perfect, and these two are perfect. But man, if this is the base, so we gotta, just like Todd did, suck that dick dry. This movie's fucking great. Joe Spinell's he's like a goat, or the goat. Yeah. He's greasy, he's dirty, and like Todd said, when he goes from being that dark, awkwardly dude previously, and then all of a sudden he's fucking Superfly. We're talking, and it's working. So And then he switches it on again and he starts fucking bitches up. And yeah. And then the ending is really fucking way cool. It's so dark. I love scalping. And now we're gonna have a song about it, which is even better. This all too. I also saw this on a big screen. This is another movie. I can see it very, very pretty or very, very gross, and it still works. Now, this one, I skipped the last Blu-ray. I didn't buy that one. I didn't see it. So this is the first time I'm seeing it in 4K and like this pristine. Holy shit! Did they do a fucking really good goddamn job?
Yeah.
This is the best I've seen it in a home, even on big screen, in home and on big screen.
Right.
Best it's ever looked to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one looks amazing. I mean, so many iconic moments. I mean, when he blows, well, this one's old enough, but when he the shotgun scene with Savini, it was like, oh man, and something too, just the way it focuses on him and he kind of knows at the last minute and just boom. I was like, oh, fuck. I will even go as far as to say this, and I'm not being funny or anything. Joe Spinell, this is about the pinnacle you can reach on acting. I don't care if it's a horror film. I don't care if it's a fucking, period piece, costume drama. He is like way the fuck up here. And like you said,
at least had, and the nominees are at the bare minimum, he should have been mentioned. Not
absolutely.
like, and the award goes to, which would have been fucking amazing. But at least
they still got heat with him for who directed the picture, The Shark. If you don't know the footage, Joe Spinell and Spielberg.
Yeah, well.
That was awesome. Can you imagine Spinell in some of the Spielberg movies that he might have been in? I'd love this. He could have been like an evil scientist in like E.T. He scalps like E.T.'s parents.
Hey, he got to play Darth fucking Vader at least, so.
He would have scalped Demi Moore. Not Demi Moore. Drew Barrymore.
I'm still upset we never got the sequel, although the little footage that there is, I mean, he would have been a killer fucking clown killing, people. How cool would that have been?
Oh man!
I don't think it's too late for Elijah Wood to do it.
I remember being so apprehensive going into that one, but I did love Elijah Wood. So, and then I heard it was going to be all POV, and I just fucking loved it. I think as soon as I got done watching it, I ordered the soundtrack.
It's also different enough too. It doesn't feel like you're watching the exact same movie.
I fucking popped so goddamn hard when they fucking did that shot.
Dude, fuck yeah. So I was really excited for the as you know, I
was excited too.
I hosted
get a boner.
I hosted a screening of fucking the remake. But when they announced Elijah Wood, I knew it was gonna be awesome. He was Kevin from Sin City. I'm like, he ripped people's fucking heads off in that movie. Like, this is gonna be great. And then he proved me right, and I was so happy.
Yeah, I always forget that, but I was convinced from his slightly off performance in Wilfred that he was going to be able to do it. So
yeah, that's true. Elijah's done a lot of really good stuff, both behind the camera and in front of it since Lord of the Rings.
He's a genuine fan because I sat next to him at a Smashing Pumpkins fan and at a Smashing Pumpkins show. And like my opening line wasn't, "Hey, it's fucking Frodo." I was like, "Excuse me, dude," because like he was a seat over. Spectre Vision, keep up the good work. You're doing great. And then that got him interested. So we talked for a little bit. I wanted to get a photo, but the damn show was starting, and he bounced me for the last song because he didn't want to get this Lord of the Rings people hounding him. All these Smeagol's, I get it, dude. Go for it. Yeah, again, nice.
Oh wow, yeah, man. Yeah, I guess maybe he'll have to do that. I mean, Joe Spinell in Jurassic Park. Oh man, scalping the fucking raptor. Run, kids.
No, they got to run from the raptor and him.
It's the only thing that's going to make the movie even better than it already is.
Oh,
because him and Stallone, before they ended their relationship. Can you imagine if the lead bad guy in Cobra was Joe Spinell.
Oh,
Right.
Brian Thompson was great, but whoa,
Right.
holy
Yeah.
shit! That
Or
would've
if they
been
would have
good.
made a Cobra 2 and actually fucking Spinell was the leader the whole time. I am the new world.
Start by like scalping the girl in that one at the beginning of the sequel. Like it's like the Hostel 2 opening where like Stallone wakes up and her fucking head's in his bed with them. And that would be so good.
Fuck yeah.
But oh man, Maniac's perfect. I mean, it's not just like a gorehound's wet dream. I mean, it really it is, but it's also just a masterpiece of performance and I mean, this one is really good. If you haven't seen it, I think this one holds up perfectly. We talk about films that are essentially perfect for what they are, and I put Maniac up there, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This one I don't.
Return of the Living
Dead. This one I don't think ages really. I think it really is one of those films that.
The only thing that gives it age is the cars and lack of
sure,
but you can get past that. That's the whole reason why I like. Well, I'm bringing out my Batman nerd, but Batman the animated series, like that's pretty timeless too.
Absolutely, no. It. I mean, it's just the end with the mannequins coming to life, and oh man, it really is perfect. I'm almost kind of glad that we didn't, get like. A slate of sequels from this that probably would have, dampened what this really is. Maniac for me, movie, and again, the 4K does look excellent. I know some people complain about it looking too clean, but even Lustig has said before, it's like, look, it's not intentional. It would have always looked like this if we had the technology and money. All right, so there's no doubt in my mind, Maniac is a 5 all the way. It is, to me, a perfect film. Like I said again, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, perfect. Maniac, perfect. If you haven't seen it, I think you will really love it, even if you're not a fan of more sadistic films. The acting is just stellar. What say you guys?
I'm gonna have to go 5 too. It's just fucking badass.
Todd's mad that there's no scalp condoms that you can use. That's probably
you can use a real one.
There you go.
Indian style.
Better than lambskin. Yeah, I know. Is there any doubt that I'm giving this a 5? I love this movie.
We're gonna give it a 10.
In my heart it is, but
one big hole.
It is a one big hole. That's our we oh wait. There we go.
Read this one.
Looks like we're a bunch of
we tried to do that last time. I confused Dan.
Looks more like a gape, but yeah, same thing.
It is a one big gaping hole.
The old belladonna.
All right. Well, on that note.
Yes. So on that
note,
don't
go out alone.
Don't go out alone, and support us on Patreon.
Do
do if you're around Todd. So support us on Patreon at patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures for exclusive, uncensored, and all sorts of different content on there. It starts at only $1, so we appreciate it, and there's all sorts of cool stuff on there and more being added all the time. Also, be sure, if you're on Facebook, to join the Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio group, or we'll cut off your fucking head. And be sure to like the Flesh Wound Features Facebook page. And if you're watching us here on YouTube at Flesh Wound Radio, I get mixed up. We're Flesh Wound Features on YouTube. No, we're Flesh Wound Radio on YouTube still.
No, we're Flesh Wound Features.
Flesh Wound Features.
You can find us on different places under Flesh Wound Features, Flesh Wound Radio.
There you go. So YouTube, add like and subscribe Flesh Wound Features. All of these videos it really helps us because we're new on YouTube. So like and subscribe. It helps increase our visibility, and we appreciate that very much. And I think that's all I have for you. Todd's going to go grab his Maniac and chase around the pretty women VHS and, fantasize about what Julia Roberts looks like scalped. So
fun stuff.
There you go.
All right. On that note, good night.
Good night, guys.